Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Tomorrow, guys, Bitcoin will begin the last week in the pre-halving downside phase in the orange, as you guys can see below here, before transitioning into the pre-halving rally phase, which is the light blue, this one coming from Rect Capital here on Twitter. So what he's looking at is this, guys, back in 2019, you can see after we saw the pre-halving rally, we did see this area here, the post-halving resistance, and that is in a darker orange here or a red color before the bull run finally came to a conclusion, and that is going to be the euphoria stage. So guys, that happened back in 2020, and as you guys can see here, we are right now approaching that period. So trend line moving downward, at least that's what happened back in 2019, 2020, and right at the beginning of 2021. That's going to be formulating that pennant pattern, bullish pennant pattern on the macro trend. And so we're not really there yet. If you guys look over here, we're still pretty far away from that. So we still need to see that wedge form. We do need to see the trend continue to move down into this orange area here before we see that final leg up. And that's going to be denoted in the green, guys, moving into 2024. Of course, right now, Bitcoin has been just meandering, not really making up its mind as to where it wants to sit right now. Right now, we're trading at about 43,000, almost 43,200 per BTC. Crypto market looking fairly healthy today. Sentiment, though, still neutral in the space. So retail traders still scratching their head a little bit, not feeling one way or the other. We're seeing a mix of red and green in the space. You can see XRP is down a little bit, 1.55%, whereas Bitcoin is up a little bit, 0.23%. But guys, it's not that hard. Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. Raoul Pal just shared his Bitcoin chart that shows an annual return of 110%. And you know what Raoul Pal says? DFTU. I think you guys probably know what that means by now. Legendary trader Raoul Pal has doubled down on his support for Bitcoin after making an epic comparison of the coin with some legacy assets. Taking to his official Twitter account, Raoul Pal shared a Bitcoin price chart that shows an annual return of 110% that comes from doing nothing. And even he said, I basically did nothing here, and I got 110% from just waiting and being patient. The top analysts also showcased the annual returns on the NASDAQ, pegged at about 21% from doing nothing as well. While he initially noted rhetorically that achieving the goal was not easy, he went on to acknowledge how easy hitting the massive Bitcoin surge is when placed side by side with the GMI Total Global Liquidity Index, the global fiat debasement. So he's showing you guys some charts here, comparing them. Let me just bring up this tweet. It can't be this easy, can it? Well, this is the NASDAQ here. But guys, Bitcoin overperforming all these traditional assets at 110% annual returns. And so, DFTU. That's right. It can be this easy. And Bitcoin is just one example here, guys. All the other altcoins are going to move along with Bitcoin in this space. We've got an XRP right now trading at about 50.5 cents. So again, not too much movement for the entire space here, save one example. Flare, that's right, the Flare token has been seeing some huge returns. So since about mid-October, we are actually seeing returns for the Flare token of upward near almost 300%. And even just within the last week or so, or even the last few days or so, the Flare token is up almost 50%. So guys, if you're still holding your Flare tokens, I'm sure you're pretty excited about this. To be honest with you, I have not taken a look at my Flare tokens in a while, but now I guess, maybe I should be talking about them. For my Patreon subscribers at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, they are in my legacy portfolio. I haven't, really talked too much about FLR or Songbird because, they really just haven't moved, along with the rest of the crypto market in 2023. So I'm going to be adding that also at some point to my legacy portfolio. Guys, you can follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you want to hear what I'm trading specifically. And if you're waiting for this market to come down even more, I do still think there are some good opportunities to get into some high flyers this time around. So I'm still going to ready to deploy a little bit more capital. I got into one more altcoin position last week, and I did just post an update last night. So patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for those who are interested. Check this out. Another great observation from ISO 20022. Uphold apparently came out with this statement. I guess maybe this is from their FAQ section. How can I identify transactions related to basket purchases? How is this purchase amount distributed when buying a basket? Well, guys, look at what they've identified here. The purchase amount is evenly distributed. I guess this has to do with a basket of cryptocurrencies. I don't know if they're offering another product or not, but the purchase amount is evenly distributed among the assets included in the basket. And then they give the example here. For example, if you buy the big three capitalized big three cryptocurrency baskets, BTC, ETH, and XRP for $120, you'll own $40 of each asset. So guys, Uphold is considering XRP to be part of the big three cryptocurrencies, despite the fact that it has slid down to number 6 position here on CoinMarketCap. I personally think that does speak volumes. That says something, that they're considering XRP still one of those strong cryptocurrencies that they see as being probably one of those high-flying performers in this coming bull run. Of course, the market is set up for it. The chart, the XRP chart as well, is looking very, very bullish. So a 50-cent XRP at this point in time, very, very attractive buy. We got this too from Mike Manfield. Ripple partner Commercial Bank of Kuwait has selected Network International for their digital transformation project. So these guys have been a Ripple partner for quite some time. Commercial Bank of Kuwait, one of Kuwait's renowned financial institutions, and Network International, okay, another company here, the leading enabler of digital commerce across the Middle East and in the MEA region, okay, in Africa, today announced an intent to strategically collaborate to significantly enhance Al Tijari's ongoing digital transformation and payment innovation initiatives. The partnership marks a significant milestone in the digital transformation journey of Al Tijari, the second oldest and one of the leading financial institutions in Kuwait. Al Tijari will leverage Network's cutting-edge technology and expertise in end-to-end issuer processing capabilities, including fraud detection and prevention, tokenization, cardholder self-protection application, advanced authentication, and instant issuance, among other services, to offer its customers progressive and innovative digital experiences. So looking to expand from just payments here. Of course, banks probably are going to do this more and more as they see, this mainstream adoption of blockchain become more and more prevalent in the space. Now, as we know, Ripple has, they started off with payments. David Schwartz recently did talk about this in a Spaces, a Twitter Spaces, and there's been some controversy over this. Was he negative on Ripple's achievements when it came to payments? We've got some conflicting views on that. I'm going to be touching on that, guys, shortly. I also wanted to just bring this up too with Ripple partner Airwallex. Well, that company and McLaren have also just penned a partnership. McLaren Racing in particular, check this out, guys. Airwallex, a leading global payments and financial platform for modern businesses, today announced a multi-year partnership with McLaren Formula One team, one of the sport's most iconic brands. As an official partner, Airwallex will support McLaren's global financial operations through its treasury management and cross-border payouts and settlement product suite. This partnership between Airwallex and McLaren will help ignite the fintech giant's growth trajectory as it continues to scale globally. Significantly, McLaren will use Airwallex to optimize its supply chain payments for the Grand Prix, for all Grand Prix. McLaren's existing payment infrastructure limits payments to suppliers such as hotel and event-based providers to a singular currency account based in the UK, resulting in high foreign exchange rates, slow transfer times, and additional SWIFT fees. So, of course, to get rid of all that, why not partner with a Ripple partner, namely Airwallex, to prevent all that friction that a lot of these companies are used to. So, an interesting partnership here. Airwallex's financial technology will unlock multi-currency payment options for McLaren, providing the company with the ability to hold core currencies and exchange them with speed and ease at any point, while reducing the amount of SWIFT fees that may be payable by leveraging Airwallex's extensive global proprietary payment rail network. And of course, Airwallex running on the XRP Ledger. This is why they're able to complete these tasks for their clients, in this case, McLaren Formula One team. So another example here of how payments are becoming more seamless. Have you guys seen this too? Vechain's actually getting into the payment space, targeting a $20 trillion payments market with a new product that they're offering. This one courtesy of Michael Branch here. It was recently reported that the Vechain Foundation has filed for the V3TR trademark registration that could position it to align with the global financial communications standard. The news was initially broken by the crypto commentator and the founder of Crypto Newsflash, Colin Brown, and it's believed to be a game-changing move that could merge the traditional financial system with the crypto industry. It is also reported that this could be a clear ambition of Vechain, joining the likes of XRP and XLM to become ISO 20022 compliant. In this case, it could be a major participant in the trillion-dollar payment industry. And considering the global payments industry is one of the fastest growing sectors with an annual growth rate of 24%, it is also noted here that according to reports, this industry could reach $20 trillion by the year 2026. So, quite frankly, let's think about this. If Ripple has, in fact, failed, in quotes, when it comes to payments, Are they throwing in the towel? Are they moving along now? Based on what we've been hearing from that Twitter Spaces, again, David Schwartz did come out commenting on this, and it's gotten the XRP community a little concerned, but I think there's an explanation. I mean, we know now Ripple is moving on to other things. Crypto Eddie bringing this to our attention. Tokenized NFTs are real. This is Stacey Walden of the Algorand Foundation. Okay, she was on a panel a couple of weeks ago that was sponsored here by Ripple, and in this clip, she highlights what I think will be an enormous wave of innovation, okay? Many use cases here, guys. Listen to this.
There's another kind of tokenization, which is creating markets that didn't exist before. And this is where I think you can be very demand driven. So there is a company called TravelX. They're an Argentinian company, and they've just partnered first with an Argentinian airline called Flybondi. And if you go on the Flybondi website now, all tickets are now NFTs.
The tokenization of NFTs are real, and TravelX, as you guys may know, is already a Ripple partner. So now they're tokenizing their tickets as NFTs, and this is just, again, one example of one use case where blockchain technology and this new emerging asset class is going to be really important. In this case, XRP being leveraged over the XRPL, and again, NFTs is just one use case there, where we're going to see a huge change. So when it comes to payments, okay, is payments done? Is it kind of overdone? And well, I mean, now we can do it, so let's move on, or is it, too regulated so that blockchain and crypto companies cannot get in and capitalize on payments? Bill Morgan posting this. Okay, just as well, considering David Schwartz conceded on the Spaces a couple of days ago that Ripple didn't obtain the traction it expected from payments, and although continuing with payments is very interesting in other use cases such as real-world asset tokenization and multiple chain ecosystems with asset portability between chains. He's commenting on this Mickle post here. XRP is bigger than payments. XRP AMM master plan finally revealed. I'll link this in the description if you guys are interested. FOMO here at Short the FOMO on Twitter. He posted this. A company that is stretched and throwing amendments at the ledger like chewing gum. Is there a way to remove them if they are junk? Asking another related question here. A Dingo Ate My XRP also says this, okay, the context of this is that David was talking about peer-to-peer cryptocurrency payments, like how people can use crypto to pay their part of the restaurant bill, for example, but they don't right now. So, the option to do that is available. However, many people just aren't using cryptocurrency in these types of scenarios. Ripple is obviously still expanding Ripple payments. It's a major part of their offering. So, if they're still expanding, what the heck does David Schwartz mean by, the fact that they possibly failed in this main use case? So XRP drops, bringing this up, okay? And Mickle actually does analyze this. I'll link this clip in the description of the video for you. I agree 100% with Mickle. Ripple has been expanding in the last few years. Let me play you that clip of David Schwartz from that Spaces, and then let's get to it.
We're big believers in payments. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop doing payments. That's not going to happen. However, I think these other use cases are extremely important, and I think you're going to see us producing. We're very interested in real-world asset tokenization. We're very interested in an ecosystem of multiple chains with asset portability across chains. So you can have chains that can provide smart contract capability. You can have greater throughput. You can have chains that have data storage for NFTs without having to try to build one chain that's good for all purposes. So I think the answer is yes to everything except like reducing our emphasis on payments. I don't think you're going to see that from us, but I think you will see us looking into other use cases, metaverse use cases, NFT use cases. I think we're going to have to broaden. I think the next big bet for us is probably a sort of multi-chain ecosystem, starting with the EVM compatible chain, which will be nice because currently, like if you're in the XRP ecosystem, we basically just don't have a smart contract solution. And so having one that's industry standard will make it easier. Like you want to hire people to build, hiring people who know EVM, is very easy. So I think you're going to see us placing other bets and encouraging growth in other parts of the ecosystem. I think the answer is we haven't gotten the traction we wanted just from payments. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep trying, but it also means that we have to be broader. Way back in 2015, when Ripple decided to focus on payments, our thinking was that everything else could be done by everybody else. But if we were going to get institutional payments in the cryptocurrency space, someone was going to have to build products that were regulatory compliant, that were well supported, that could withstand third-party audits. It was going to have to be something that was done by a company. It couldn't happen organically. So we focused on institutional payments. But we're a lot bigger than now than we were in 2015. We have a lot more resources. We have a lot more employees. We have a lot more technology, and we can do way more than one thing at a time. And so I think you're going to. This is the fight I always used to have with Stephen Thomas, the former CTO, was, okay, we can do more than one thing, but can we do 7 things? Can we do 10 things? Can we do 3 things? I think you're going to see us increasing the number of things that we're doing and offering a sort of ecosystem of tools that that will support all of those different use cases. Metaverse use cases, I'm VR use cases, I'm not completely sold on yet. AI, I'm kind of I think that's definitely going to be something, but the question is what, and I don't think we know what yet. So the other thing that's a little challenging is to decide when is too early and when is too late. I think with NFTs, like Ripple decided that we cared about NFTs a little bit too late, and I think maybe with CBDCs we may have decided a little bit too early. And so I think it's going to take some process of deciding how hard we want to commit. Like if we decided we wanted to make a major commitment to metaverse use cases, I'm not even sure what that would look like right now. Like I'm sure there's plenty of people who would love to tell me like what they think the metaverse use cases are, but it's very hard. It's hard to know what's right. And so you have to sort of calibrate. You can't wait until somebody else makes $1 billion in a field. That's basically what we did with NFTs. We're like, we don't think NFTs are a thing. We wait and we're like, oh shoot, somebody just made $1 billion in the NFT space. We probably should pay attention to it. And obviously that's a little bit too late. But if you jump on too early, then you're following every fad, and that's very stressful for engineering teams to spend months building something like, oh, actually that turns out that's not a thing, and then you tell them to, there's nothing worse for an engineer when they put their heart and soul into a project and then like that project doesn't become a thing. So calibrating is challenging.
So a few things here, guys, worth noting. David Schwartz did comment that, and here's the quote, "We haven't gotten the traction we wanted just from payments." So let's think about the context of this. Ripple and XRP were sued by the SEC. And before they got sued, okay, remember they got sued back in, or at least it was announced that they were being sued back in December of 2020. Before that, everything was moving pretty status quo, okay? Everything was going fast. The partnerships were ramping up. Everything was getting very, very exciting, especially for the XRP community. Coming off that early 2018 high, XRP moving up to $3 and change. Sure, we were in a bear market. XRP moved down from there. But then the SEC really kind of shook things up. So, at that point, I think things slowed down. I know Brad Garlinghouse has said things did slow down. But does that mean that Ripple failed? Absolutely not. They have grown year on year, okay? Think about the other countries that are using RippleNet. Hundreds of percentage points growth year on year for other countries using the technology. Ripple doesn't have to do only payments either. So that's the other thing. Other verticals. Brad Garlinghouse back in October of 2019 was talking about all the other verticals that Ripple was looking to get into, and that payments was only one vertical. And it's a pretty basic it's a pretty basic application if you think about it. When you compare it to all the other types of things that a company like Ripple could do: debt, staking, lending, NFTs, the metaverse. You heard David Schwartz in that clip talk about all those things. So it is a great product. However, it could have been adopted quicker, and it was only because of the SEC. Probably only because of the SEC that was not the case. So did the company fail because, they just couldn't get all those other things off the ground? Again, as I just mentioned, back in October of 2019, Brad Garlinghouse did do this interview with Anthony Pompliano, and this is a bit of a transcript, a point-form transcript of that interview, and you can see down here, I've just highlighted it here, the next step for Ripple, expanding into new verticals, and how Brad thinks Ripple will shape the future of the financial technology. So that was essentially, their mandate even before they got sued. They always wanted to step into new verticals, and it was unfortunate that payments didn't take off in the way they should have. But of course, we had the lawsuit. Of course, the beer flu also affected this too, and probably, the beer flu probably would have accelerated it. But because it was coupled with the lawsuit, Ripple and XRP just could not get that same traction. But guys, now we're free and clear. XRP, not a security, and this is going to take time. It's not going to shoot up right away. But in this bull run, guys, I have a feeling XRP could go up beyond all-time high. So beyond $3.31 or whatever that was. Mr. Hubert also posting this, okay? Hey, Joel Katz, you said Ripple wasn't as successful with payments as expected. I can't quite reconcile that with Brad Garlinghouse's WEF 2022 Davos statement. 800% sounds great to me. Remember when Brad talked about this? Let me just play you guys a little bit of this clip of Brad Garlinghouse from back in Davos 2022.
The correspondents need to pay more interest if they borrow money in order to make the payment happen. Citi is saying they're shutting down cross-border payments in 13 jurisdictions for retail.
And yet we're still thriving as a company. We had a record year last year. We had a record Q1. Volume using our primary product of ODL grew 800% quarter Q1 to Q1.
ODL volume has grew 800% from quarter one to quarter one. As incumbents like Citi back out of retail cross-border payments, this means more business for Ripple. De-risking will continue because it's too costly in this environment of sanctions and high interest rates. The incumbents have massive lists of customers that they need to serve. If they can't offer a solution with correspondent banking, is it possible that they integrate with Ripple to serve their clients' needs?
So Darren's show is linked here if you want to check that out. But did you catch this? 800%, okay, from quarter one, I believe it was quarter one of 2021 to quarter one of 2022 was the example Brad Garlinghouse was giving there. Also, we got to remember the promise of tokenization, guys. This is massive. Chad Steingraber retweeting out XRP drops his tweet here. This is Marcus Infanger, okay? This is the Proof of Talk Summit in Paris. He's a Ripple X dev, VP of Ripple X. Listen to this.
You know, tokenization will only get to mass adoption if large financial institutions are part of it. So if we help and change the system from the inside out. Now the promise is massive, right? There's like 280 or between 250 and 500 trillion, depending on what sort of source you look at, of real world assets, right? And if you look at how much is actually tokenized right now, the whole crypto market cap is like 1.1 trillion, and that includes a lot of non-real world assets. Stable coins, which is one form of real world assets, like 120 billion, right? And so if you look at financial institutions, they're certainly interested in tapping into that opportunity, because the traditional financial system is full of red tape. It has a lot of middlemen, and that's exactly what blockchain technology is designed to deliver, right? And I think.
And the market is only going to get larger and larger, but for mass adoption, we do need the large financial institutions to be a part of this. And again, this is Marcus Infanger, the VP of the Ripple X project. Not only that, a few months ago, David Schwartz was saying, you know, this could happen within 12 to 18 months. Tokenization about to revolutionize the XRP Ledger.
That's one of the many reasons why the XRP Ledger is going to be a good place to launch tokenized real-world assets. I think we'll see that in the next year and a half. I'm hoping that we're going to see, as real-world asset tokenization projects grow, I think the XRP Ledger is going to be a really good platform for them to launch on, particularly because of the low fees and because of the integration with the DEX, with the proximity to sort of the movement of funds. The ability, if someone's going to buy, what do you want to do with a real-world tokenized asset? You want to buy it, you want to sell it, you want to hold it, you want to transfer it. And if you want to buy it and sell it, you want to be able to do that with whatever asset is convenient for you. You don't want to tie, if you tokenize some sort of debt, like you don't want to tie it to US dollars, because then that limits access to it to people who have sort of proximity to US dollars. One of the things the XRP Ledger is good for is giving you sort of proximity to many different assets, and that exchange is seamlessly built in. So I think that's one of the many reasons why the XRP Ledger is going to be a good place to launch tokenized real-world assets. I think we'll see that in the next year and a half.
You know, these verticals, tokenization being a big one, but this, of course, is just the beginning of something that is going to explode, not just in value, but in utility. I also personally think that the bull run could help this along. Of course, the liquidity is going to be key for XRP to have that utility. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and by the way, we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so please do subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit it by March 31st. I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos, a Ledger Nano S and a Ledger Nano X. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.